Alright, so we have the series of the night in which it's going to be Miami and Boston. As we've seen in that first game, Miami just pretty much handed it to Boston the whole game. You can definitely see that the speed is there, the athleticism is there, and as far as Boston's concerned, it's just like I figured. You go in at halftime 46-46. Granted, the referees had some horrible calls in which was somewhat questionable as to what was the motives behind some of these. I didn't get it. Again, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but it just reminds me of the Phoenix Suns 2005 series in which there were some very questionable calls, and then you find out Tim Donaghy was getting paid on the side. So, not to say that, but again, there's just some strange calls. But truth be told, they went in at halftime 46-46. It's a tie game and completely got blown out in the second half. Now, in Boston's case, and I said this in my first video, they can't beat anybody shooting at 33% like they beat Philly, in which they struggled to do that. And when you look at the numbers, they had 11 points in the first quarter. 11. Who are you going to beat? Who are you going to beat? This is the East Coast Conference Finals. Who are you going to beat scoring 11 points in a quarter? Third quarter, how many points did they put up? 15. Who are you going to beat? Fourth quarter, crunch time, we got to come back. How many points did they put up? 18 points. 18. You're not going to beat anybody. Yeah, you had a 35-point quarter in which you went off. Congratulations. But that's not going to cut it. It's all about consistency. We need you guys to put up more points, period. And that's just not happening. And I really don't feel like Boston has the firepower. Again, you had Paul Pierce, who's probably their best scorer right now. 5 of 18. Yeah, 5 of 18. Granted, I don't think he's going to do that again. But 12 points in the game, Paul Pierce isn't going to cut it. The only person that really showed up for this game was KG. Granted, he put up 23 points, 10 boards, 9 of 16, not bad numbers. But then you got Rondo, who shot 8 for 20 and 16 points. Granted, he had 9 assists, but he's averaging almost 12 assists. We need, I'm going to be honest with you, and I said this in the first video, if Rondo's not averaging damn near a triple-double, I don't see them competing in this game. They just don't have enough firepower. They don't have enough role players. They just don't have it. So we have to factor this in. And again, KG is their leading scorer at 19.5. 19.5 points is not going to cut it for your leading scorer. Not against Miami, who is just a team that can turn it up in the instant. You don't know when they're going to turn it up. You know it's coming, but you just don't know. So whereas you look at Miami's stats, and I said this in the last video, it's going to come down to their role players, because I really believe that Chris Bosh going out was the best thing that possibly happened to him this playoff, for the simple fact that they're still trying to learn. It's only been 2 years. People forgetting that it's been 2 years, but they're still learning how to play with these other role players. So now that Bosh has went out, you don't have 2 other guys sitting there watching each other, while you got 3 players trying to figure out what they're going to do with each other, one another. So this factor where you have Mike Miller, who only played 12 minutes, dude shot 3 of 5, made 8 points real quick, had 3 rebounds. Again, that's what's going to make up the factor in the game in the end. Whereas you have Joel Anthony, 6 boards, you have Torioff, 5 boards, 4 points. I mean, it's going to come down to boards and points in the end. Who can score? Who can make it happen? Again, I said Haslam's going to have to be a factor, which in this game he wasn't a factor. He had 2 boards and no points, but you had guys like Shane Battier who showed up 10 boards and 10 points. So again, it's going to come down to the role players, and we all know at the end of the day, LeBron James is going to do what he does. The dude is averaging 29.3 points a game, 9.1 assists per game. I mean, come on. 5.3 boards a game. The dude's a monster, and unless he doesn't bring it, then they're in good hands, period. D-Wade is a phenomenal player, but D-Wade's not getting high numbers in all of these categories, which lets you know that, I mean, LeBron James is a force to reckon with, point blank period. I don't care if you like it or not. The dude is a force to reckon with. So, like I said in the first video, as long as D-Wade has at least 22, possibly to 28 points a game, they're going to win. Now, I don't know how that's going to match up possibly in the Spurs series. I don't want to give it to them too early, but I don't know how this is going to match up personally, but it should be interesting. Like I said, the core of the team lies in LeBron James. And on the flip side, Rondo is going to have to turn it up for Boston. Period. Shooting 8 of 20 is not going to cut it. Rondo, yeah, you need points, but you got to be that assist guy that you've been. You got to get everybody else involved. Like I said before, you guys need Brandon Bass to step up. You need him. And in Brandon Bass's case, dude shot 4 for 11. 4 for 11. Yeah, you got your 8 points, but 4 for 11. They need more. And a lot of these shots that you missed were completely wide open. Some of these shots, it was blowing my mind, like how were they even missing? How are they missing these shots? So when it comes down to it in Miami, just like it is tonight, I really believe Miami's going to take care of business. It's game 2. They're at home. They're on fire. They're learning how to play with all these role players. Everybody's turned up. They know they're going to the finals. It's game time. And like I said, I really believe that Miami is going to beat them in 6, possibly 5. But at this going rate, Boston, you guys might mess around and get swept if you guys don't turn it up with your role players. So we'll see if something else is, switches in this next game today, and we'll go from there.